What's going on, guys? Jacoby Kendrick here, the BJJ Realtor, coming at you. Want to talk with you a little bit about what I'm doing to keep my skills and my mind sharp during this quarantine. So everybody's still in quarantine, still trying to get away from the coronavirus. I hope you all are staying safe and healthy. But hopefully, I'm in Texas, so hopefully next week they're talking about loosening up some of the quarantine, so hopefully we'll be getting back on the mats very, very soon. And so I'm looking forward to it, but we would definitely want to do that safely. But in the meantime, like I said, I want to talk to you about what I'm doing just to keep my mind and my body sharp, so whenever it is time to actually come back on the mats, I'm ready to go. And so the main thing for me, and the absolute most important aspect that I think is crucial during this time right now, because you really can't go out and roll with your friends or do a lot of that stuff at the moment, depending on where you're at and what state you're in, is diet and fitness, right? And so you definitely want to be eating right. You definitely want to be working out and, keeping yourself active and moving. And so for myself, I've just been watching everything that I eat, just making sure that I'm eating healthy and also not overeating and gaining a lot of weight. Because that's the other aspect is, right, whenever you come back, you don't want to be overweight. You don't want to be overweight and out of shape, because if you do that, you're more likely to get injured whenever you come back if you're overweight. I've actually lost a little bit of weight during the quarantine. I've been working out. Me and my wife have been working out. Kids are working out with us as well. And so I probably work out 5 to 6 times a week. Still, we've got some stuff in our garage that we can do to work out. And so that's really what I've been doing. I've been really cognizant of working out and keeping my diet in check, because if you don't, those pounds will like slowly creep up on you, especially if you're not doing as much activity as you were doing before. And so for working out, all I've really been doing is I always kind of follow the protocol from Westside Barbell. If you're familiar with them, Louis Simmons and Westside Barbell, they do upper body and lower body days. They do max effort, and they call them speed days. And so just been doing squats and deadlifts, really heavy on one portion of the week, so like a max effort, maxing out, and then bench press and floor press and just other presses as well for like the big movements. And then if you look them up, the rest of their activity is a lot of accessory movements. So, like triceps, biceps on an upper body day, lots of pull-ups. And then on lower body days, like dragging the sled, walking with the sled, lots of good mornings, leg curls, all those sorts of things, right? And then the other thing I've been doing quite a bit more than what I was doing before, because it was pretty much non-existent before, is stretching. So whenever I come back, I want to be more flexible than I was before, and also doing a lot of just jujitsu type moves. So like technical stand-ups, technical get-up, backwards rolls, frontwards rolls, and then a lot of shooting, like single legs. When you shoot a single leg, doing a lot of those, just making sure that I'm keeping myself active and doing a lot of those jujitsu movements that you don't normally do during the day. I don't do a lot of running, but when you run, like, that doesn't really translate over to jiu-jitsu. So you want to be doing like bridges, handstands, like gymnastics type stuff is really good as well, just to keep your body moving and doing those awkward movements that you'd be doing if you were actually rolling with your teammates. So that's like really, I think, is the absolute most important thing you can be doing, because if you come back overweight, because you'll get your jiu-jitsu back like really quickly, right? Like, nobody's really rolling right now. I know there's probably some professionals that are still rolling because that's their job. That's what they're paid to do. But as far as for us, like laymen's, folks that have, they also work a job and they love jiu-jitsu, we're not rolling. We're not really doing anything. But that's going to come back quickly. Like, you've only been out for like 30 to 45 days. It's going to come back quick. You're going to get back on the mats. Of course, you'll be a little rusty, but everything's going to come back. And then the second part of what I'm doing, which is really important as well, is just the mental side of it, right? Watching matches. Here in my town, my professor does a great job. He's actually still doing classes. The professors are, so they're actually still doing classes as if we were there. And so we've just been watching the classes and making sure that we stay connected with them, right? And so I think that's the other way to keep your mind sharp. Do the mental reps. Do the mental reps. I remember there was like a prisoner of war, POW. I remember he said he got captured, and in his mind he would play a round of golf like every day. And then whenever he got out, he still played pretty well whenever he got out and was able to play golf again. So you just want to mentally take yourself there. And so I'm also watching professional matches. Our professor sends us matches that we should watch that are like geared to his systems and his game. And so I'm watching those, watching the positions that guys are getting in, positions that I'm having trouble with, and just watching their hand placement, grips, where are they putting their feet at in order to, get leverage to come on top or whatever else. Just really looking through those details is really what I'm doing. And then going through my own matches. Where did I get stuck? What would I do differently? Just analyzing everything that I can mentally, so whenever I get back, I am going to be ready to go. So there's like certain positions where I know I get stuck at, and I've just been watching myself and watching other jiu-jitsu practitioners on what they do in those positions, so I'll be able to help myself as well. And then the other thing I would say that's really important is staying active and speaking to your community, right? So you definitely have a community that you deal with whenever you are actually rolling. So you just want to stay connected with them, even if it's just like a text message or just sharing things on Facebook or Instagram or just any social media, just to keep your community going. Because then when you get back together, there's always going to be a little bit of awkwardness because you haven't seen each other, or you haven't seen everybody. There'll be a few people that you're close with, but you haven't seen each other. So just communicating with people, making sure they're doing okay, is just going to make that whenever you come back together, it's just going to make it that much sweeter, right? And so those are a couple of things that I'm doing. Be interested to hear what you all are doing in order to stay sharp, but definitely keep your diet and your fitness in check. If you don't have any equipment, hit some push-ups, hit some air squats, do something, roll around just in their living room, go out and run, do whatever you can, so whenever you get back, you are ready to go.